but Tenma's on crack, and she's just not the smartest cookie in the box. And,
She's just naive.
All the things that happen, and she decides that she's going to make the best of it and scavenge, like what if she was on a desert island, and what would she do? And she says, oh, I'll look for food. Yeah, I'll just look for food. That would be great. And so she finds this bun, this like sticky bun or whatever that's been left there, and she's like, oh, you know, maybe I shouldn't open it. Maybe I should save it. And she ends up opening it and eating it, and it's like a super hot thing. It's super fiery hot, and starts flipping out. And she sees that there's the fire alarm with the spout, the water, whatever those things are called. This water sprinkler stuff. So she gets up there and she's going, trying to get it on. And at one point she can't get it off, and she does this whole, we came up with it, it's completely ours. I looked at Brina and I did it. She goes, that's it, put that in there. She does this very like, oh sweetheart, I mean right! And it just sounds weird. It starts doing, she breaks it off. It's not even as funny as it would be if you were watching the Secret Secret. But it's some pretty good stuff. My favorite funny thing, honestly, is Yukari in the Nyamo episode on Volume 1 of Azumaki Daioh, all the drunk stuff and all of the sleeping with the pillow. Sleep barfing, that was my addition to the script. Because in the Japanese translation was something like don't vomit again or something. I mean, it was something very literal and very, how are we going to say that? And so I was like, wait a minute, let me just try something. Sleep barfing? Like, but made it. It's on the DVD. Sleep barfing! Yay! Any other questions about our illustrious business? Or working conditions, or working for various companies? But I love that entire series. That was my first goal, was Kaname. And so every time I get to play, and how often in a series do you get to do something like go from the first season to Fumofu, which basically says, we're just going to put the plot on hold and let everybody watch what they kind of want to see, which is Sosuke and Kaname come out a little bit more and have this kind of chemistry thing as it works itself out. And then we'll return to our regularly scheduled show with a plot and seriousness in the second grade. It was a blast. I love that show. I love that show. I'm really hoping for a season 4, pretty much because Sosuke and Kaname worked out.
Yeah, it was that episode and the war cry of incessantness.
Yeah. Yes.
Why did they move the second grade from AV to Funimation?
They didn't move it. From what I know, which is not much, because I'm just an actor. So I have nothing to say about who gets what or who gets cast or nothing. Or anything. Sorry, that was crazy grammar. What I know was that I had heard ADV had it, and then I started getting phone calls from other people. So suddenly I imagine what happens is Funimation ended up owning the license for the second grade. That's how it works. If you own the license, you get to do whatever. They distributed it, and so the second grade was legally their title. It's Funimation. But they chose to farm out the dub to ADV, so that all of the usual suspects and everybody that was associated with it were the same. Although some of us do work at both companies, I imagine if they had chosen to do it, we would have got pretty much the same product. But the way they did it, I thought was incredibly cool, and that's what I know. Somehow Funimation ended up with the license, so I don't know. We all kind of say go like this too when stuff like that happens.
Yeah, I was very happy that you were able to record it again.
Yeah.
But it did become like Saiki Reloaded.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants that. And to be honest, I've been on the other side of that, where Comic Party Revolution. You know, I'm doing something that's already been, Mitsuki was, awesome, thank you, was grown and created by somebody else already. I felt very weird stepping into those shoes. You know, it's not, I don't think anybody likes that, you know, ma'am.
As an actor, how do you prepare yourself to go into a character like, for example, Mako, who is different from the series of characters that you have had to fully develop as you become? How do you prepare yourself for a character like Mako?
I'm glad you asked that. I forget about that show all the time. If you have not seen from the Diagram Brothers. If you can put up with a little bit of blue humor, because it is kind of blue, be warned. That is a hilarious show and a wonderful, I think, effort on the part of the production crew. You know, there are some shows that you're like, oh, it's a good dub or whatever. Well, this is a musical. It's an anime musical, and they burst into song every 5 seconds. And the people that worked on that show really loved it and took great care with it. Our engineer, our sound engineer, he's a music aficionado anyway, and so everybody was very into really making that sound great. We recorded the opening and the close. Great care taken with that. Everything was just done really, really super well. You know, for preparation of various things for that particular show, it was very much a matter of being vocally ready coming in. Because a lot of times, again, you have this much time to work on something. And we just don't have time to run over. So they would make us scratch tracks of all the songs so that we knew them before we came in. We already had an idea of how it was going to go. And pretty much it was just to come in and be vocally ready. And that particular show, though, was so interesting for me because I heard the musical and they were auditioning everybody for it. I went in and Chris Ayers said, you know, I talked to you about the adjectives, right? He said to me, we want her, she's very ballsy, but she's a Southern belle when she wants something. But when she's not doing that, she's actually just kind of backward. Kind of what she thinks of salty earth, blah, 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 but she pulls out her Southern belle when she wants to get something, which is usually money. And he just gave one of these things, kind of stressed this whole, like, I don't want her to be from a trailer park, but I want her to be, like, this sort of salt of the earth thing. And then she becomes very Southern, kind of almost Southern sounding when she gets something, very Southern belle coy. So the voice that came out for her was so strong and so immediate to me. What I did on the DVD is what I did the first time I read for her. It was very, oh, hey, day! Oh! You know, that was it. From day one, I was like, shunk, this is how I would do this. And they were cracking up, so I figured I hope I got it. Then she, you buy me anything? And it's great. She does go from this very, oh, hey, day, I love you. Did you say Tom and Noah? Cousins, we're cousins, and cousins can't do any knock tie now, can we? You know, very. Yes. She was like that. And her songs, I loved.